Next concept is fully functionally dependency. ठीक है, full functional dependency. ठीक है जी, ये क्लियर हो गया, ये भी हमने डिस्कस कर लिया. So this is an example of first normal form. So if you see, ये कुछ data samples हैं यहाँ पे. Basically these are two data samples because यहाँ से division है. Okay, so these are two data samples of two different orders, including the customers' names and the product descriptions and products attributes. ये जो data है, it can be viewed as a table, but this data is not in a relation. It's not a relation. Why? Because there are some multi-valued cells. ये जो हमें नजर आ रहा है, ये मल्टीपल वैल्यूज हैं, ये रिपीट हो रही हैं वैल्यूज. एक ऑर्डर आईडी के अगेंस्ट वी आर हैविंग more than one values for product ID, product description, finish, unit price and ordered quantity. So what we can do is we can duplicate this data. Okay, इसको हम डुप्लीकेट जब करेंगे तो इसकी ये फॉर्म बन जाएगी. ठीक है, हमने डुप्लीकेट कर दिया डेटा को और दो रोज को हम 5 रोज के ऊपर ले गए. नाउ दिस इज अ रिलेशन बिकॉज देयर इज नो मल्टी वैल्यूड सेल. Okay, duplication of data is there. उसके ऊपर चलते हैं. Duplication of data is there, but as far as the definition of relation is concerned, this two-dimensional structure is following that definition, right? Because all of the columns, their names are distinct, or rows and columns का जो order है, that is irrelevant, right? And there is no multi-valued cell. So it means that now this structure is a relation. अब इसकी जो primary key है, that is a composite primary key, right? Order ID and product ID. It's a composite primary key. आप देख सकते हो कि ये जो combination है composite primary key का, that is unique. That is not repeating. Okay. But the issue is that there are anomalies now in this particular relation. ठीक है, वन बाय वन देखते हैं उन तमाम एनॉमलीज को जो हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, इंसर्शन, अपडेशन एंड डिलीशन एनॉमली. सो इसके ऊपर अगर हम देखें, फॉर एग्जांपल आई जस्ट वांट टू ऐड अ न्यू प्रोडक्ट. I cannot add a new product unless and until that product is in an order related to a customer. So in order to add a product, I need to duplicate customer's data. For example, a new product has to be added with this customer which is already existing. So I'll have to duplicate data. I'm forced to duplicate data. So what is that? Whenever I'm forced to duplicate data while adding, that is insertion anomaly. So insertion anomaly is there in this particular relation. Second anomaly is deletion anomaly. Deletion anomaly is that whenever you intend to delete an instance or instances, you are forced to delete some data that may be required in future. For example, if I delete order ID 1006 data, my intention is to delete just this order's data, but I'm also deleting the customer's data, and I'm also deleting the product's data, which may be required in future. So it means that there is so there is deletion anomaly. Whenever I intend to delete something and I'm forced to delete some additional things which may be required in future, it is a strong indication that there is deletion anomaly in that particular relation. So second anomaly is there. Thirdly, updation anomaly or the editing anomaly. For example, I want to change the name of this customer from value furniture to valued furniture, for example. I'll have to change the data in 3 rows while value furniture is one customer. Ideally, I should change the data in 1 row only, because ideally one instance should be represented in 1 row. But because there is duplication, जो point आपने दिया, because of this duplication, I'll have to edit multiple rows with an intention to edit just one instance data. So it means that editing anomalies already is also there in this particular relation. So all three anomalies, mashallah, are there in this particular relation now. Okay, so it means that yes, we have crossed the first stage, we have achieved the first normal form, but there are still some anomalies. So second concept which is associated with second normal form is concept of full functional dependency and partial dependency. And because that concept is based on that functional dependency thing, so हमने उसको डिस्कस कर लिया. अब हम डिस्कस करते हैं full functional dependency. Full functional dependency वहां पे आती है whenever there is a composite key. Okay, whenever there is a composite key, there would be a possibility of violation of full functional dependency. Violation of full functional dependency is partial dependency. ठीक है, अब full functional dependency क्या है इसको देखते हैं, फिर मैं रिपीट कर देता हूं. Full functional dependency is you have a composite primary key, so all of the attributes values, they should be functionally dependent on that composite primary key. मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूं. If you have a composite primary key, ideally all of the attributes values, those values should be completely functionally dependent on the composite primary key. But for example, there are some attributes whose values can be determined just by using a part of primary key. Okay, for example, there is existence of some of the attributes whose values can be uniquely identified with the help of just a part of composite primary key. It would mean that those attributes are not fully functionally dependent. Full functional dependency means that a part should not be able to unambiguously identify value of an attribute. If a part can unambiguously identify value of an attribute, then it would mean that that attribute is not fully functionally dependent. So not full functional dependency means that there is partial dependency. Okay, so whenever a part of primary key can uniquely identify value of some attributes, then there would be partial dependency. पता कैसे चलेगा? With the help of analysis of data samples. For example, in samples को analyze करके we can just detect if there is a partial dependency or not. So one by one attributes को check करते हैं. हम सबसे पहले order date को देखते हैं. Order date 1006 के अगेंस्ट ये है, 1006 के अगेंस्ट ये है, 1006 के अगेंस्ट ये है. ये चेंज नहीं हो रही. ये कम सैंपल्स हैं, हमें दीगर सैंपल्स को भी देखना चाहिए, लेकिन दीगर सैंपल्स को भी देख के हमें पता चलता है कि यार order date is something which is dependent on order ID. Whenever order ID is being changed, date is also changed. It means that order ID can uniquely identify date. बिल्कुल हो सकते हैं. हम उल्टा, अब आप उल्टा देख रही हो, वो कोई मसला नहीं है. एक डेट में भले दो ऑर्डर हो, एक ऑर्डर में दो डेट्स नहीं होनी चाहिए. एक ऑर्डर आईडी के अगेंस्ट मल्टीपल डेट्स. अगर एक ऑर्डर आईडी के अगेंस्ट मल्टीपल डेट्स मौजूद हैं, इसका मतलब है कि वो डिपेंडेंट नहीं है, वो फिर डिपेंडेंट. लेकिन अगर एक ऑर्डर आईडी के अगेंस्ट एक ही डेट है throughout the data samples, and definitely with the help of consulting the customers हमें पता चलता है कि date ID is uniquely determined with the help of order ID. Dates value can be uniquely, कि एक ऑर्डर में कभी ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता कि एक ऑर्डर में मल्टीपल डेट्स हो. इसका मतलब हुआ कि ऑर्डर आईडी कैन यूनिकली आइडेंटिफाई डेट्स वैल्यू. इट मींस that date is what? Partially dependent. Date is partially dependent.